Okay, so as part of the series Amy Should Be 40, this 5-part podcast series that has been put together by a team here at 3 News and also Tegna's Vault Studios, including senior reporter Drew Horansky, we're focusing on an episode every single week leading up to her birthday. I have Drew with me now on the live stream. Drew, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So we're spotlighting episode 2 this week, which focuses on the suspects in the murder of Amy Mihaljevic.
That's correct. The name of this week's podcast is called The Lineup, and it is exactly what you said, Stephanie. Looking at the suspects in this case, there have been so many over the past 30 years, as you can imagine. Important to note that nobody has ever been charged in this case, and this episode begins where we hear from Bay Village's police chief, Mark Spetzel, talking about that day 30 years ago when he was actually in Amy's classroom.
That is wild.
Isn't that? Talking about stranger danger on the day that she went missing. So we dive into the episode first through him, and then we speak again to crime writer James Renner, who's of course been a voice throughout this podcast, and just talk about who these suspects are. Interesting, we're not able to name them because of course they've never been charged, but certainly these are people that know that they have been on the radar, and we hear what it was like for James Renner to speak to some of them and to talk to them about those allegations.
And in this episode, we learned that some of them were actually looking forward to speaking to him, or like happy that he reached out to them.
Happy might be a not quite the right way of coloring it, but
okay.
Maybe relieved. I don't know. I think you feel happy maybe when you're feeling relieved, knowing that they have been under scrutiny and almost waiting for him to reach them and to get their side of the story. And I think that's an interesting part of this, that he was curious to find out what their reaction would be, and the reaction wasn't, of course it was denial, it's not me, because of course they're presumed innocent and we don't know who the guilty party is, but relieved to be able to at least tell their side of the story. And
when we talk about these suspects, you know, we're sort of talking about it a little bit in the past tense right now, but this is very much still a live investigation.
Very much still alive, absolutely. The FBI has never forgotten about it. The Bay Village Police Department continues to work it, and in fact, they say they continue to get leads every single week. This podcast certainly aiding in people coming forward with perhaps new information. But no, very much an active investigation. There's still very much hope that Amy's killer could still be caught. There's a lot of hope in new DNA technology, as well as just the possibility that someone out there may have something they want to get off their chest. You know, you can never quite rule that out either.
Right, you never know who that next person might be who gets a knock on the door from you or James Renner or the FBI, and then here we are, and then we'll maybe have some more answers to the disappearance of Amy Mihaljevic.
Let's hope.
And this entire podcast, it's a 5-part series. It's out now wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep.
So you can binge it. We're focusing on episode 2 today. Again, we'll be highlighting an episode once a week, every Wednesday, leading up to what her birthday would be, which would be December 11th. So when you're searching for Amy Should Be 40 on your favorite podcast platform, make sure you spell out 40.
Yeah,
F-O-R-T-Y.
We ran into some issues with that, with people typing in the number 40, and you can find it, but not finding it as quickly as if you type out 40. So
we want to help you get to that as easily as possible. And we also have links in the article on WKYC.com to take you directly to those places.
Yes.
Spotify, Apple, Google, Podbean, Stitcher.
And also want to mention too that it's an interactive website. So if you are interested in seeing pictures and seeing original documents, things from the time of Amy's disappearance, that's all there at WKYC.com too.
Great, thank you, Drew.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Yeah.